Patching in our Corvus contact.
Freelancer, you missed the briefing.
What? That doesn't sound like me.
What's the mission, Seth?
Corvus has been tracking an Iskari called Skilos. We got the jump on it, but Skilos retreated to these caves. My team's built for ambushes, not sieges.
At least you know your shortcomings.
Skilos is wounded, but there's an entire swarm backing it up. You've got your work cut out for you.
I know you're hard. Is that a no?
Destroy the alarms or we'll be overwhelmed.
One down. I don't need a status update every time.
Well, that was for Faye.
Oh.
5 more, Freelancer.
And done.
Thank God, I was getting a migraine.
We couldn't have that. He looks friendly.
Does he now? Nothing but meat and potatoes behind that shield. Stagger him and then dig in.
Interesting metaphor.
Whoa, hungry.
Can we not talk about food right now?
See? That wasn't so hard.
Says the backseat driver.
Hold on. I'm detecting extremely high energy readings further in.
Damn it, this speeds up our timetable.
Why? What's happening?
There are records of a shaper construct in this area. There's a hunch, but I think Skilos might use it to cause a cataclysm.
Oh, of course. Corvus doesn't do simple missions.
It's not like I told Skilos the construct was here.
Look at all these barrels just lying around.
They could at least organize them.
Yeah, Scars will really do that. Try filling up the pump, Freelancer.
We're in.
Hey, congratulations, you opened the door.
Hey, don't knock the little wins. They're important. For morale. Wow. Need to recirculate the air in my javelin.
Please do.
Where is everybody?
relieving themselves, considering what's on the menu?
From what we can tell, Scars prefer meat that's gone off.
Why do you know these things? We're locked in.
I found the Scars.
Thanks, Seth. Very helpful.
I've got an idea, but it's definitely not covert.
Told you, not a priority.
And, freelancer, it might cave you in.
Calculated risk.
The structural integrity of that wall is weak. See those explosives? Blow the damn thing.
Yes, ma'am. Explosives in place.
Wow. Give yourself plenty of time, huh?
It's a default setting.
Focus, please. Explosives primed. Get back, freelancer.
Way's clear.
And you've still got all your fingers and toes.
Always a plus.
Ugh. Ugh. Looks like we tapped into a primitive sewer system.
More than looks like it.
Good news is, we're closing in on the construct, and probably more scars, but that's to be expected.
Sev, I want it noted that I'm literally walking through shit for you.
Noted.
All right.
Out of the sewer and into the frying pan.
That's not the expression.
Keep moving. Exit's above you.
close?
Yes. Energy readings are climbing.
Seb, why would Skelos start a cataclysm?
I don't know, but it's not the first Skylight to try. I've never seen one this size. And considering their defenses, this place must mean something.
Forgot to mention the tank.
The tank's new.
It's also partly organic.
What?
Skelos isn't just the pilot. It and the tank are fused together.
It must have entombed itself to heal its wounds.
Cool theory. Can I still kill it?
Yes, it'll just be a more complicated endeavor.
I'm in trouble here. Could use a hand here.
To take down the shield. Skelos is no more.
Spiky bastard go with deserve.
We should inform the Arcanists about the tank, and that the construct was spawning scars.
Yeah, I'll put in my report. But first, how about a round of celebratory drinks?
As long as Corvus is paying.
Gather intel if you can, but most importantly, shut it down. Keep it out of Dominion hands.
And too late for that. We have Dominion.
Checks out. They know we found the facility, so they'll be
In my way?
destroying evidence, flipping tables, trying to kill you.
In my way.
Gather intel if you can, but most importantly, shut it down. Keep it out of Dominion hands.
And too late for that. We have Dominion.
Checks out. They know we found the facility, so they'll be
In my way?
destroying evidence, flipping tables, trying to kill you.
In my way.
activated the construct.
And by construct, you mean this whole facility?
Yes. Energy readings are climbing.
Parking clearly left some experiments cooking. We're in uncharted territory.
Perfect. Freelancer sweet spot.
Freelancer. Strangely, this room has no real exits, but there is a conduit. You'll need to figure out how to open it. Activating that will give you the key. The console will show you the key to solving it. Conduit tube's open.
Opened into a water conduit. Is that right?
Yes, keep heading up.
Exactly just how far underground, underwater are we?
Well, let me ask you, are you claustrophobic? Because I am very claustrophobic.
Fascinating.
It's a significant distance. Keep heading up. Freelancer. I'm impressed.
The energy in this place. Let's keep moving.
Freelancer.
Yet.
You know, I'm streaming.
Normally, if I do stream, it's like no audio. On average, lately, just don't add audio.
Ray up. RAYUP stations with the little Ratchet and Clank guy. Oh, that's Doctor OTACON.
I have 666 FM Evil. Yeah, that's the YouTube. Yeah, and then I have the Evil 666 on is the Twitch. So the YouTube will be a few different PlayStation handles. Actually, I've been off of Anthem the last few days because of an exception and an invite on a Gundam clan. So I've been helping and training and hosting and whatnot on there. And then I was like falling back on Anthem for free time, and like there wasn't very many people hosting, which is fine. But then I'm like trying to host a match and nobody's in it. So I'm just going back to solo stuff. Like whether I do Anthem or not, I'm just doing solo Anthem. Just with our schedules, like that's how it is with us matching up. Whenever we get invites out. I'm still doing like the 9 o'clock and later time zones with my schedule on Anthem. It was like the last couple weeks with Gundam. It was their 3-year anniversary, so it was like really heavy on events and stuff for weekly progression. So that took a bunch of my time, but I don't expect that to be real heavy on event stuff in the next couple weeks, so I'll be on Anthem a lot more than I was.
Nothing good.
That was literally the thing holding me back, is the amount of time grinding the different accounts for the exclusive stuff they had in the game right now. But that's at least just Gundam stuff. For Anthem, like I still grind the second account here, the OTACON account. I've only started this account for Storm, so I literally have 3 more Javelin I can build for the second account. So I'm just sitting on this account to buy time for us to really have a focus, and then I'm just like using all my time on what energy I can use for making the Storm better. That would be another thing, like I could just go grab my 3rd pilot and wipe everything off of that account. I'm just talking about a completely new account, starting from scratch, so this has no exclusive decals and graphics and all that from our first venture in the game. Yeah, this is like literally a fresh dude. But I had started it in December for Gundam, like there was a literal purpose, and then because I had the account sitting here, I just made extra content on YouTube for the fact that we didn't have enough hosted lobbies for the gameplay we're doing in GM3. Besides all that, like, I was trying to be all secretive and wear a mask, but that didn't work very well. If you could follow the YouTube, you'd notice anyway, but in our community, like, we don't really have much of player base to really be secretive. But I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate helping my 2 silly accounts out here. I've been pretty dedicated in Anthem for the fact that I just enjoy gaming. Whether or not like we all choose one game or another, I just kind of stick on one thing that I like to be good at. So Anthem is my thing as well, similar to Ray and his thought process on that.
Yeah.
There's other games like I get into and I've played, and that's cool to do co-op on stuff. It's just like even Outriders, like I didn't spend much time in it, but I would need like a push to get into it, just something different. Like Anthem's so easy for us to get in, right? Yeah, what about Outriders? Sorry? It feels to me like a Division 2, like a themed game you can do crossplay with people, but if I would want to grind in it for like a daily, weekly kind of thing, I'd probably hold back on a hard grind for those titles. But I did play Division 2 super hard, and it just felt like it was a fun gun game. In that respect, like it's a better version of Battlefront 2 or any other shooter with a sniper rifle class available. So by that respect, Ray, how did you feel Outrider played with like different classes? Like you had your assault rifles or pistols or sniper rifles. Do you feel like there was a lot of dynamics in the gunplay for Outriders?
Yeah. It's a looter shooter, so it has a lot of mechanics of a looter shooter. It actually reminded me of Anthem, kind of how it's like. But you can do more in your builds because you have a skill tree. Which
so
is
there's a lot more
kinda
build management, micromanagement in that respect. Is that what you're saying?
Imagine if Anthem had a skill tree.
Well, I mean, I remember
Matrix
Borderland
drops
days with the
your-
skill tree in that fact, or the Division 2 skill trees they had in that fact. But it's just like, how does that compare with a weapon class? If you have like a mid-range weapon, field, or a
the
pistol, or
weapons
close range kind of thing.
There's some pretty dope weapons. Those legendary weapons are actually designed very nice. They have different looks to them. Like, they have, like,
Yeah, that's something I liked about Division 2 as well. They'd always bring out a legendary that was a unique look to it. Sweet looking. Would you
But
feel
the
like
guns-
going back into Outriders to revisit, carry a couple green players? You're like making a day out of it.
I didn't make it up to that level to where I can carry. I can.
Do you feel like you'd be
hold
able to
my own,
teach a
really.
couple of people to get a group going and push your own character higher, or what? What do you think?
Oh yeah, I run with you. It's been a minute since I played it.
I would never go
The
back
only
to
thing
Destiny
about
2,
Outriders
but I
is,
didn't play much in
for
it.
me, it's similar in Anthem is that it's a grind, like going through the story mode and then working up through the CTs. It's a grind. Imagine if Anthem had GM 15, 14.
Yeah, so that's a big thing about Diablo, is it would go into torment levels, and past 6 you would just keep going higher and higher. You go into torment 15 or whatever, but you wouldn't unlock those unless you geared yourself up, and usually you were on a PC to be able to get that far into the game. But most of the base games in the early consoles didn't even have those available for download content, just the PC had that, and they added it in some of the later consoles. Now that we have Ultimate Evil Edition and DLC stuff added. But anyway, Outriders would be cool to get into, I think, as like a content thing. Ray, it might be something you could use as like tips and tricks, or showing new players something or whatever. If that's something you want to do as like a half-hour segment in a schedule, we could probably link up together and do something, and then go back to Anthem or whatever for the rest of the time.
Yeah, buddy.
That sounds like something to get into.
It's
figure
just
that
like
out.
Outriders is either individual grind or a group grind or both, and I try to do both. It's just a grind though. It's just a lot you gotta do to get drops, and then there's so many different pieces.
Well, from my understanding, like you get certain quests done up to the last completion quest, bump up the difficulty as high as you can get it, and then complete the last level for the reward chest.
Now imagine you may get one drop. How many times are you willing to do that?
Well, I thought it was a guaranteed drop at the end of
No.
what, like you
Oh
get
yeah,
one
guaranteed legendary drop, but you can only do that once though.
I thought it was like it resets every time. Like you can do it once and reset the whole path for that one legendary drop again.
Not
You have
that
to
I
grind into the
understood.
path, get to the last level before you get the chest opened, or whatever that item to open for legendary. You bump the difficulty up on the last one, and then get it completed. You're saying you get the one guaranteed legendary, but you can't say what it's going to be, gear or weapon-wise, whatever. Yeah. We're going to kill him in first phase before the Grabbit's dead. By the way, I only got 15 minutes to do it, so we better not swipe. No wipes. Yeah, no doubt. I got no ultimate damage on this thing. I think it has some combo chain.
Hey, Zeb, are you seeing this? It's no ordinary fury. Never seen
Alright.
this.
Can't wait to go sweat at the crosswalk.
Me? I'll be screaming already.
Throwing my ultimate out. Trying to stagger him out of this animation he's going into. Nice. There's a stagger. Yeah, looks like it might be one phase. Going back into animation. Oh no, he's down. Good job, guys. Now that doesn't happen very often. In my runs, going with randoms, this boss takes a while. Yeah, I got plenty of videos on my YouTube where we get into some good selling. It's a poop show. It's a shit show. There's usually one. Like, there might be one guy that ends up surviving flying around, and one guy will always try and go to heal me if I do mess up and I get knocked out close to the bad guy, close to the boss. Dude gets swiped and dead right when he's trying to heal me. Yep. Nobody pulls the ultimate right before they heal. They're not that at that point yet. They're still learning. But I laugh.
Oh, Mel, is there any other games you've been looking at? I passed on Dungeons and Dragons game. Gonna pass on Hunter Arena. 2 New Aliens game looks interesting. Not sure if I'm on
Oh,
board
is
with
he
that one or
talking
not.
PS5, like new up and coming games? Most people were saying like a lot of those games were already on PS4 anyway, for new titles coming out. Like you just wait for the PS5 either way, but you get the upgrade on anything, right? The frame rate, and all that.
There's nothing out that I'm interested in, just to be catty. Nothing out. Nothing. Really, I mean, there's some dope games out, you know, and I hope people have fun playing them, but there's nothing I'm chasing right now. There's no game
There's
that
some
I'm like,
updates
oh.
coming for the Marvel Avengers in the next few months, isn't there? Like they were supposed to drop Spider-Man as one. Black Panther was something Army of One was talking about for a while. Don't you got Avengers as well, Ray?
I tried the beta because people
Oh, it was the
want me to
beta.
try it.
Okay, I thought you actually
that
pulled the
was
trigger
it.
and bought it. Okay.
No, sir.
Yeah, so there was some like a little bit of grinding and builds in that game that was kind of cool, a skill tree and all that.
Yeah.
Just following it. But they were supposed to introduce some new characters that made it a little bit of a hype.
Yeah. So there's a lot of history with a lot of these gamers, bro, and some of them just don't get along. It's crazy.
Oh, I don't even know all that. I don't fall in there. Yeah, I replied on that.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me think more like, did Sally think that he was being a dick in his own right? Did he leave because he was embarrassed, or did he just leave because he didn't care? Oh, there you go. That makes sense too. I just figured he didn't really care. Like most of the time, there's a lot of conversations that just don't matter.